مثل ما وعدناكم نحن حاليا متواجدين في الجناح التابع لجمهورية فنلندا. طبعا الجناح شكله شكل خيمة تقريبا، والخيمة هذه يكسوها الثلج. فحبت الجمهورية الفنلندية أنها تبرز معالم الطبيعة الموجودة في فنلندا، بالإضافة إلى احترام الثقافات وفرض شكل الخيمة في اكسبو 2020. تصميم جدا جميل فريد من نوعه، بالإضافة إلى بركتين ماء على اليمين وعلى اليسار. خلونا نشوف صور هذا التصميم ونقول بسم الله. هنا مدخل الجناح الفنلندي. أهلا بكم في المستقبل السعيد. شعار الجناح الفنلندي هو مشاركة المستقبل السعيد، sharing the happiness future. طبعا هنا جزء بسيط أو نبذة بسيطة عن ماسكات التي تم تصنيعها في جمهورية فنلندا. تعمل شركة جيد اكس على تطوير تصنيع كمامات مريحة ذات جودة عالية، توفر حماية فائقة وتتيح التنفس بسهولة وملائمة للاستخدام المهني. تشتهر منتجاتها بتصميمها العملي مع التزام تام بالجودة لضمان التنفس بأمان. والله بداية جدا طيبة. طبعا كالعادة أنا الأجنحة اللي أزورها حاب إني إيش أتقابل مع الناس اللي موجودة في الجناح، اللي هم يقدرون يشرحون شو اللي حاصل في الجناح التابع لدولتهم بأسلوب أفضل من أسلوبي، لأن المعلومات تكون ناقصة عندي. فالأخ هذا بإذن الله بيساعدنا.
Okay. So our first company here basically is Fortum. So Fortum is really focusing on creating clean energy and making sure that the economy will be carbon neutral in the future. So their main focuses is like sustainability solutions and then clean energy. So mainly to do with heating, recycling, clean fuels, like nuclear solutions and stuff like that. And we can see some of their solutions all through here. And you might have actually read on the news about this kind of like nuclear waste solution. So this was kind of like developed here. So it's a very complex program, but essentially
this is actually mountains, right? Or it's deep ground?
Deep underground, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's I think it's 400 meters underground. But this way we will be able to get rid of nuclear waste without actually harming the environment.
And they will be using this transportation, or that's a different project?
So as far as I understand, this is like the creating the holes for these, and this is how it will be stored underground, the nuclear waste, in these type of tubes.
That's good. Just good. Good.
So the next company is Granum. So Granum is again kind of focusing on the sustainability theme, which is one of this pavilion's main themes. So essentially they are creating kind of like these, it's like a property management thing. So essentially they are creating sustainable ways with software, making sure that there are kind of like better ways to create buildings and everything like this.
Okay.
So the next company is iLock, and iLock is basically making these keys, and these keys are very smart. They're kind of like smart keys. So when you put the key inside, it's basically being a digital lock instead of a mechanical one. So when you put the key, it's actually reading the key and that way being able to open. And iLock has actually collaborated with Apple, and that way you're able to have your key on your phone, for example your Apple Wallet or something like this, so you can just use your phone to open your front door lock. So this is Halton. So this one is basically providing ventilation for indoor spaces. So they have kind of like this quiz here and also like a little bit about their company, but mainly they're trying to provide so that indoor spaces are ventilated well and sustainably, so that we can have like clean air always inside in whatever space it might be, a kitchen, an office, a hospital.
Here we are.
So they are essentially enabling well-being for people.
Okay.
So since people spend so much time indoors, it's very important that the air that we have inside is actually fresh air, and that we're not breathing in too much
So it's a
carbon
ventilator
dioxide.
company, right?
Yes, yeah. So Kone is our national partner, so it's kind of like our main exhibition here. So we of course have the smart elevator here, and there you can see it move, but it's essentially the first elevator that's connected to a network, so you can communicate with them. So it has a 24/7 hour maintenance system, and also it's kind of like a smart elevator. And unfortunately right now it's off, but if you click on these here, you can change the actual color of the elevator. So you're kind of focusing on making the elevator into, well, now we'll be able to see.
Yes.
So right now it's blue, but if I press here, it will
Okay,
go
okay,
in
that's
color.
good, that's good.
And you can change it to different colors.
And how does it read the order? Like, is it like a smart card, or how does it work exactly? What is the function?
So as far as I understand, Kone has their own, so there's actually one of these cables, is like a network cable, and it's connected to their own network.
Okay.
And you can also have your Kone app. So
Okay.
through the application, you can control the elevator and change the settings for it. So focusing on making an elevator more than just a box, and actually something comfortable to be inside, like an actual part of the building.
That's nice. That's nice.
So many of this. Okay, so the next one is Finnish Water Forum, and their main topic is kind of focusing on providing clean water for everybody and making sure that it's done in a sustainable and clean way.
Okay.
And the next company is Marine Tech.
Marines.
So Marine Tech is basically creating these kind of pontoons for all these companies. So these pontoons are of course in marinas, and they are essentially where boats can dock.
Okay.
So they are the second biggest company in the world for these pontoons. And then,
Stones.
so the stone from Finland, these stones are 3,000 million years old, or 3 billion years old. And they are essentially from eastern Finland. And they are kind of like a showcase here of the Finnish rocks that we have.
Okay. Your technology.
Yes, so here we have Nokia. So Nokia is of course a very well-known
Very
Finnish
famous
company. And here they are kind of working on 5G on the road to 6G. So they're kind of like working on the future, connecting people.
They are speeding up.
Yeah. And then finally here we have the city of Oulu. So Oulu is a city in Finland. And so it's kind of showing the education and the business environment in Oulu, and showing a little bit what life is like in Finland actually, in a regular city. We have the Nokia 5G pole. So this 5G pole is fully operational, and we already have these in Expo, Finland. So it's like a regular 5G pole, but we have some security features in it, like cameras, and it's able to automatically call the emergency services in case. So it's creating kind of like a safer and more sustainable city, like a smart city of the future.
يا الله ما يطبقوا عليه أجهزة الرادار.
Yes, so here is our Evergreen Farm. So Evergreen Farm is a hydroponic farm. So these plants are growing with 99% less water than a traditional farm. And on top of this, there is no soil. So there is just like a nutrients mix that the plants are growing.
Wow.
So,
And did they work? And how old is this project actually?
so I think they've been doing these for around 6 years, but these plants grow very quickly.
Wow.
Because they can grow. So we grew 800 grams of saffron in 3 weeks.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
And what about the future? So do you think they will go for bigger project, which is for bigger trees or bigger like fruit trees?
So basically that's what they've been working on. So this is the smaller scale one, and the bigger scale one, which is called the Grain 365, can grow, for example, wheat and corn and like much bigger vegetables in it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good, that's good.
So here we have the Wärtsilä Power to X machine. So this machine is essentially taking CO2 from the air and through a chemical process transferring it to methane. And methane, which is a gas, can then be used as a flame to power this coffee machine. So this coffee machine is not actually plugged into the electricity, it's just being run by this machine, which is using the CO2 that the guests are providing when they visit
I
here.
think guys, you are going too fast. This is one of the best pavilion if we can talk about accessibility and plus technology, you are using a huge like you are giving the all pavilions the huge pressure, which is good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed so far.
Yeah. So Black Donuts is making tires for cars. So these are they look like regular tires, but tires are actually quite unsustainable. So they are kind of trying to make the perfect tire industry. So they're trying to make them smart and sustainable. So these are actually made from sustainable products. So they're trying to make tires something, so kind of like Black Donuts, which is what tires look like, to be something that's actually sustainable.
Even the name is fancy.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
So yeah, here we have Nellis. So Nellis valves. It's basically focusing on the circular economy. So trying to make sure that we can turn waste into actual energy by kind of like taking these waste products that we have and then recycling them to create energy, essentially. So Valmet is actually a really huge Finnish company, and it's been for over 220 years trying innovations and sustainable solutions in Finland. So essentially Valmet is focusing on creating paper and creating paper through a pulp. So pulp is of course the recycled material. So we're creating paper in a sustainable way without having to actually use the trees to kind of like harm the environment further. This is Hagahelia. So Hagahelia is actually the university where all of us guides in the Finnish Pavilion are doing our internship from. So all of us are studying in this university in Finland.
Wow.
So it's a university of applied sciences, which means that it's very focused on having the students working while studying, so that we get active.
Is it like sponsorship or like scholarship or?
So it's like an internship that we're here.
Okay.
So we're kind of here as a part of our studies, essentially.
Wow. Let's talk about the happiness.
Yeah, so the happiness is kind of like the main theme of the Finnish Pavilion. So we have this Education Finland robot called Elias. And Elias is normally here singing happy songs and happy birthday and kind of like showing the Finnish culture and asking people if they need help. So being kind of like the main sharing of happiness. Unfortunately, he's a little bit tired today.
I think he shared a lot of happiness. That's why he's tired.
Exactly. So he's taking a little rest.
But he looks actually cool.
Yeah. So he's able to stand up by himself and answer your questions in English and in Arabic.
Wow. And here are the clothes.
So these baby clothes on the wall are actually a part of the Finnish maternity package. So whenever a mom has a new child in Finland, they will get this package from the government, which gives all the necessities that you could need for having a new child. So making sure that every parent will have the kind of beginning that they need for having a healthy child.
The happy beginning.
Exactly, the beginning of the happiness.
Wow, wow. Okay, let's go.
So this one is talking about kind of digital health in Finland. So essentially all of the Finnish healthcare in Finland is free, and you can basically follow all of your information online. So it's kind of like a smart healthcare program. So you can manage yourself, and you can even have a doctor's appointment online. So if you're very sick, you don't actually just have to go to the doctor's appointment. You can actually take it from home, so everybody is safe, and you don't need to spend your energy to kind of...
I think Finland, they didn't suffer in Corona because everything was from distance, right?
Yeah, everything was from distance because it's a very like digital society, so it's been very kind of easy for Finland.
Wow.
This is called Lahkwa. So Lahkwa is essentially making the cleanest water in the world. It's spring water, so it's very, very pure water, and it's meant to kind of show you Finnish nature and make you feel like connected with your body and soul.
That's good, that's good. The jewelry.
So this is kind of, in Finland, we believe that Santa Claus is from Finland. So this is actually like a notebook from Santa Claus, and it has, the name of the children inside.
Oh, okay.
So we have like an example of what it looks like in Finnish tradition. And during Christmas time, we might actually be getting a visit from Santa Claus as a special celebration. Then we have this screen, which is kind of focusing on showing Helsinki and showing kind of like Finnish nature and what Finland looks like to people. So we have these long videos here which kind of like showcase what Finland looks like and what are the main activities to do in Finland.
Is it like lifestyle? Huh?
Oh yeah, basically, yeah. And then with this final one, we have Finnair. So Finnair is of course the main kind of flying company of Finland. So it's mainly, you know, meant to be kind of like a worldwide network, and Finnair is very much focused on flying to the Middle East, to Asia and North America, but also flies within Europe. And they have over 1,000 destinations, so they are very connected worldwide. So this is Fiskars. So Fiskars of course makes scissors and a bunch of types of kitchen tools. And then we have Iittala, which is a kind of like a glass manufacturing company in Finland, and making these different types of glassware. So Fiskars is of course a huge company, and we have these glass scissors on display here in our pavilion. But so many of this. Okay, so the next one is Finnish Water Forum, and their main topic is kind of focusing on providing clean water for everybody and making sure that it's done in a sustainable and clean way.
Okay.
And the next company is Marine Tech.
Marine.
So Marine Tech is basically creating these kind of pontoons for all these companies. So these pontoons are of course in marinas, and they are essentially where boats can dock.
Okay.
So they are the second biggest company in the world for these pontoons. And then
Stones.
So the stone from Finland, these stones are 3,000 million years old, or 3 billion years old, and they are essentially from eastern Finland, and they are kind of like a showcase here of the Finnish rocks that we have.
Okay. The technology?
Yes, so here we have Nokia. So Nokia is of course a very well-known
Very
Finnish
famous
company. And here they are kind of working on 5G and the road to 6G. So they're kind of like working on the future, connecting people.
They are speeding up.
Yeah. And then finally here we have the city of Oulu. So Oulu is a city in Finland. And so it's kind of showing the education and the business environment in Oulu, and showing a little bit what life is like in Finland actually in a regular city.
مرحبا، السلام عليكم. أنا شاغلة بالبافيليون تبع فنلندا، وهون عنا الشغلات من فنلندا. أول شي عنا من الأشخاص الكرتون اسمهم المومنز. هذا الكرتون كتير قديم من فنلندا. The writer هي مرة فنلندية من سنة 1890.
اللي هو شو اسمه ملابس صحيح، ومنتجات ملبوسة، وبالإضافة إلى اللي هو نفس الكاب
وعندنا كمان الكاسات هذول
الماج. ايوه
الماجز هذول كلاتهم كمان collectibles، يعني بعد 5 10 20 سنة the price هي triples.
ما شاء الله.
هذا من شركة أراب. هون كمان عنا الطاقة اسمها البلانت والفاليز، هي هذه كلها الكولكشن. أميرة ليا بأول فيلم ستار وورز هي لبست كلاتهم كمان.
ما شاء الله.
كمان عنا الوينتر بيرل والميس سبرينج، كلاتهم يعني اخذوا الانسبريشن من الربيع والنيتشر تبع
وهي من الفضة اساسا صحيح؟
نعم
هذه كلها فضة صحيح؟
فضة.
نعم. بالاضافة الى الساعات.
وعندنا كمان الجولري، يعني كثير قديم من الشمال تبع فنلندا، هي جولري from فاتسما ومون جودس، يعني هدول كثير inspired by Finnish folklore وفينيش history كمان.
ما شاء الله.
وعندنا كمان الساعات من سوندا، عندنا الدايف كولكشن سبورتس اند لايف ستايل، وكمان من بولار عندنا السبورت ولايف ستايل كولكشن.
ما شاء الله. كانت هذه تغطيتنا جناح الفنلندي في اكسبو 2020 جناح. والله اتمنى ان ما حد يفوت الجناح، لان فعلا في كميه معلومات، بالاضافه اللي هم يلعبون على التكنولوجيا كثير. فالناس اللي تحب التكنولوجيا وتحب المشاريع اللي تقدمها الشركات سواء للطبيعه او للناس او حتى للبيوت او حتى للدول، فراح تستمتعون كثير في هذا الجناح. انصحكم فيه وبقوه. نلقانا ان شاء الله في جناح ثاني. استودعكم الله والسلام عليكم.